Several people died over this bike. What's going on, YouTube? Hey, welcome back to the channel. You're here with your boy AZ. Let's go. Hey, make sure when you come in, you hit that subscribe, smash that bell notification, and make sure you share the video. So I know it's been a while, but we're about to get into this midnight production stuff. We got a lot of videos coming for you guys, just so you know. So make sure you stay tuned, because we're going to be on and popping with everything going on. So today we're going to be talking about the one and only, the Perve Shackle. All right? Now, for those of you that don't know, in Arizona, especially in Phoenix and the surrounding sub-cities, 20-inch BMX, well, that's just a way of life for us. Most of the time, we're the #1 state in the United States for, stolen bicycles. So, that's just kind of like the main hustle. So the reason for me saying all of that is because I want you guys to know why this is so serious. You know what I mean? Because it hits the core for when we come to this type of stuff. But today, like I said, we're talking about the Perve Shackle. Let's go ahead and get right into it. So, the Perve Shackle was a 20-inch BMX bike that was made by Dave Sunday. He now lives in Germany. He moved his bike company over there, but he's from Arizona, and, well, he was heavily affiliated, allegedly. So, with that being said, he made a series of 20 bikes. One of those bikes was made into be a trophy bike. All right? And that trophy bike was called the Perve Shackle. Interesting name, right? Well, you're about to find out why it was so interesting. So, with all of that being said, here we go. So, several, 4 to be exact. 2 of them I knew personally. One of them was shot and killed at the bus stop on 19th Avenue in Dunlap while I was in a Circle K. I was hanging out with one of my buddies that worked there. Going on. I was just talking to dude not too long prior to before this incident happened. And he was the first one to get killed over the bike. He's the original one that stole the bike from the individual who was awarded. And it is by an organization, which I will not name. That individual was given that bike because this bike was made and distributed to the person, the one that killed the most PDF files and hunted down the most midnight productions. So now you have to understand that this bike was in a house in Mesa when it was stolen. And it was stolen from that individual. The individual that it was stolen is definitely not somebody that you would want to steal from. Okay? So keep that in mind while you're listening to this story. Now, like I said, I knew the first guy. He was a good dude, but he was a junkie, so he had his moments. But for the most part, the dude was a good dude. And he just made a tweaker move, and he ended up getting killed over it. These things have consequences, especially when it comes down to something as serious as this. All right? Now, and not too long after that, the bike was stolen again. Because when the dude got killed, the person that killed him, they took that bike. Now, whether it was for the bounty that was put out on the bike, but it was stolen again not too much longer after this incident. I can't give you an exact time frame. I don't really remember. It's been a long time, but it wasn't but like a few weeks later, somebody else was killed. Then I had another buddy. His name was Fast Eddie. Fast Eddie was a wild one. You know, he was a wood, and he was crazy. Him and I had a few problems back in the day, but we ended up being cool later on. I ran into him some years later. And we were cool. It was just the street thing, you know. He ended up having the bike at one point. And we were at this apartment complex. And I remember these dudes came up and they were like, "Hey, John, you gotta bounce out, man. We got some words with dude." Now, Eddie, being who he was heavily affiliated. So for them to be able to, you know, that's probably the reason why they didn't kill him. But because he had the bike in his possession, yeah, they got that dude. They beat Eddie up with bats. Like, it was bad. I remember seeing him not too long after that, about a day or two afterwards. And yeah, he was looking rough, to say the least. Then the fourth guy who had the bike was one of my best friends at the time. His name was Chewy. Chewy's a gangster too. You know, he's heavily affiliated. He was a savage. He'd knock you right in your suck muscle real quick, no questions asked. You know what I mean? He was one of my best friends. He ended up getting beat up over that bike as well, because he ended up coming into possession of it. Now, the crazy thing is he knew what the bike was that he had. He knew it. He used to ride around on the bike and he'd be all completely covered up so that people didn't recognize him, but everybody knows who Chewy was. You know what I mean? So he ended up actually getting jumped over that bike as well. But because of who he was and affiliated with, they didn't kill him. But like I said, there were 2 other people that were killed over this bike. Now, keep in mind, this bike was very, integral in its design. You know, it was very interesting. And the way that they came up with the name for the bike, the Perve Shackle, should just pretty much say it all. You know what I mean? So, when I say this midnight production stuff goes deep, it goes deep. It does. And people might judge it, or they might say, you know, the naysayers, right? And that's fine. But nobody thought that Eastgate was real. And look what happened. People thought that the legends about Diddy parties weren't real. Look what happened. This has been around. Midnight Productions has been around since like the 80s. So if you think that it's not true, that's okay. I'm sure there's a lot of stories out there about Midnight that are not true. You do get a lot of tweakers and junkies that go by a legend that they've never experienced. But I'm here to tell you, known quite a bit of people that were involved, quite a bit of people that were victims to the Midnight Productions. And it's real. It does exist. But that's what I'm here for. I'm here to let you guys know and give you guys the inside details on it. So, if it's something more that you want to hear about, I've got plenty of more stories. And I'm also going to be bringing people up that have had personal experiences that were sex trafficked by them. So, if this is something you're interested in, let me know down in the comments. And I'll make more content for it. But I just wanted to give you guys a little insight, a little teaser, so that you guys know, hey, this is real. It really did happen like that. It really does go down like that in Phoenix. But yeah, make sure you guys hit that subscribe, like, comment, follow button. Let's go! Salute.